If you enjoyed this podcast, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Sharing it with your friends and family helps spread knowledge. And when we help others grow, we grow too. Thank you so much for listening. Let's dive into the podcast. The Accelerating Universe. Discovery of Cosmic Mystery. Picture two groups of scientists in 1998, huddled over computer screens in the darkness of their observatories. They had been watching dying stars billions of miles away, expecting to confirm what everyone believed about the universe. Instead, they found something that made their blood run cold. These weren't just any stars. They were watching Type 1a supernovae, stellar explosions so bright they could be seen across vast distances. Scientists use these cosmic lighthouses like measuring sticks, calculating how fast the universe was growing. For decades, everyone agreed the universe was slowing down. Gravity should be pulling everything back together, like a ball thrown into the air, eventually falling back to Earth. The expansion that began with the Big Bang should be getting weaker over time. But the numbers on their screens told a different story entirely. The distant supernovae appeared dimmer than expected. Much dimmer. This could only mean one thing. They were farther away than anyone had calculated. The space between galaxies wasn't just expanding, it was speeding up. Dr. Saul Perlmutter stared at his data in disbelief. Across the country, Dr. Brian Schmidt was having the same terrifying realization. Both teams had found the same impossible result. Something was pushing the universe apart with growing force. The discovery hit the scientific world like a thunderbolt. Phone calls buzzed between observatories. Emails flew back and forth as researchers double-checked calculations. Could two independent teams both be wrong? The measurements were checked again and again, but the answer remained the same. Scientists scrambled to explain what they had found. They needed a name for this mysterious force, so they called it dark energy. But naming it didn't make it any less frightening. This invisible power made up roughly 70% of everything that exists. Yet no one had ever detected it directly. The Nobel Prize Committee recognized the magnitude of this discovery in 2011, but the award came with questions that still haunt physics today. What is this dark energy? Where does it come from? Why is it getting stronger? Late at night in laboratories around the world, researchers still stare at the same puzzling data. The universe is not just expanding, it's racing apart faster every second. Something out there in the cosmic darkness is pushing against everything we thought we knew about reality itself. If the evidence deceives, controversies and doubts, the room fell silent when the data came in. Scientists stared at their screens, watching numbers that seemed impossible. The universe was not just growing, it was speeding up. But some researchers felt uneasy about this discovery. Dr. Sarah Chen rubbed her tired eyes. She had spent months checking the supernova measurements. Something bothered her. The distant stars that exploded billions of years ago looked dimmer than expected. This dimness suggested they were farther away than they should be. It meant space itself was stretching faster and faster. But what if they were wrong? Other scientists began asking hard questions. Maybe the telescopes had problems they didn't know about. Maybe dust clouds in space made the stars look dimmer. Maybe the computers made mistakes when they calculated the distances. Professor Martinez pointed to another issue. The team only studied certain types of exploding stars. What about all the ones they couldn't see clearly? What about the ones they chose to ignore? These choices might have twisted the results without anyone noticing. The debates grew heated. In meeting rooms across the world, researchers argued late into the night. Some said dark energy was real. This invisible force was pushing everything apart faster and faster. Others said it was all a mistake. Dr. Peterson had a different idea. Maybe gravity didn't work the way they thought. Maybe Einstein's rules broke down across huge distances. Perhaps something completely unknown was fooling their instruments. the strangest voices whispered even darker thoughts. What if the whole discovery was just math gone wrong? What if scientists were so invested in their theories that they couldn't see the truth? Some even wondered if there was pressure to find something new and exciting, regardless of what was really happening. New telescopes brought more data. Some results supported the speeding universe idea. Others raised fresh doubts. The mystery deepened instead of clearing up. Young graduate students watched their professors disagree about basic facts. The foundation of space science seemed to shake. If experts couldn't agree on whether the universe was speeding up, what else might be wrong? Late at night, when the observatory was quiet, researchers stared at the stars with new questions. Was something truly pushing the cosmos apart? Or were they chasing shadows in their data? The answer remained hidden in the darkness between distant galaxies. Each new observation brought both hope and confusion. The universe kept its secrets well, leaving humanity to wonder if they were witnessing the greatest discovery ever made, or the most elaborate mistake in the history of science. Searching for the source, new clues and evolving theories, the machines in the Chilean desert never sleep. Night after night, the Dark Energy Survey telescope stares into space, capturing light from millions of distant galaxies. Each photograph holds secrets that scientists barely understand. Dr. Maria Santos remembers the day everything changed. She was studying galaxy patterns when something strange appeared in the data. The numbers didn't match what anyone expected. Dark energy seemed to be shifting, changing its grip on the universe over billions of years. The discovery sent shockwaves through research centers worldwide. If dark energy could change, then everything scientists thought they knew was wrong. The force pushing space apart wasn't constant like they believed. It was alive, evolving, growing stronger or weaker across cosmic time. Teams from different countries began sharing their findings. The Dark Energy Spectroscopic Instrument in Arizona mapped even more galaxies. Each new measurement deepened the mystery. Some regions of space stretched faster than others. Some periods in cosmic history showed different expansion rates entirely. Late-night conferences became heated battlegrounds. Scientists who had worked together for decades now argued about basic reality. One group insisted dark energy connected to black holes in ways nobody understood. Another claimed it pointed to completely new laws of physics hiding in plain sight. The most troubling discovery came from studying ancient light. Galaxies from the early universe behaved differently than modern ones. Dark energy appeared weaker billions of years ago, then gradually increased its influence. But why? What triggered this change? Dr. Chen Li from Beijing noticed patterns that made her question everything. Certain galaxy clusters seemed immune to dark energy's effects. Others accelerated wildly, as if invisible forces were pulling them apart. The universe wasn't expanding uniformly. It was stretching in complex, unpredictable ways. Some researchers whispered about hidden dimensions leaking energy into our reality. Others suggested parallel universes pressing against ours, creating the mysterious acceleration. These ideas sounded like science fiction, but the data demanded extraordinary explanations. The controversy reached its peak when 3 different research teams published contradictory results in the same month. Each used different methods, different telescopes, different mathematical approaches. Yet their conclusions couldn't all be true. Meanwhile, new technologies promised even stranger revelations. Space-based observatories would soon map dark energy's influence across the entire observable universe. Quantum computers might simulate cosmic forces that regular computers couldn't handle. Underground detectors searched for dark energy particles that might not even exist. Each answer led to 10 new questions. Each discovery made the mystery deeper, more personal, more urgent. Something fundamental was happening to space itself, and humanity stood at the edge of understanding forces that shaped reality from its very beginning. The limits of understanding, answers, uncertainty, and ongoing mystery. The most brilliant minds in science gathered in hushed conference rooms, staring at charts that made no sense. The numbers were perfect, too perfect, yet they pointed to something impossible. Dr. Sarah Chen pushed back from her computer screen at the observatory. For 3 years, she had studied the same data. The universe was not just expanding, it was speeding up. Something invisible was pushing everything apart, faster and faster. "We have the most precise measurements ever taken," she whispered to her colleague, "but we still don't know what we're looking at." The telescopes showed galaxies racing away from each other. The math worked beautifully, but the cause remained hidden. Scientists called it dark energy, though the name explained nothing. It was simply the best guess they had for the greatest mystery in space. Late at night, in laboratories around the world, researchers ran the same calculations over and over. Each time, the results pointed to the same troubling truth. Something made up most of the universe, yet nobody could find it or touch it or even prove what it was. Professor James Reed looked out his office window at the stars. 70% of everything is this strange force, he said to himself. We live in a universe we barely understand. The newest space missions sent back data that should have solved the puzzle. Instead, they made it stranger. The acceleration wasn't constant. It seemed to change over time. The very fabric of space was behaving in ways that challenged every theory. Young scientists entered the field, hoping to crack the code. Veteran researchers admitted they might never find the answer. The force that shaped the cosmos remained as mysterious as it was powerful. In quiet moments, between experiments, they wondered if human minds could ever grasp such vast secrets. Perhaps some truths about the universe would always stay beyond reach. The stars continued their endless journey outward, driven by something that existed everywhere and nowhere at once. The data kept flowing in from distant galaxies. Each measurement added another piece to a puzzle that seemed to grow larger rather than clearer. The universe held its secrets tight, offering glimpses but never the full picture. Scientists pressed forward anyway, driven by the same curiosity that made them look up at the night sky as children. The mystery of dark energy waited in the darkness between stars, patient and eternal.